MLS UK show.
This is interesting then that you mention MLS compared to the Championship, because we're seeing at the moment a lot of, and we've not really discussed this in detail, but there's a lot of MLS players that are now coming over to Europe.
Yeah.
And we've always said like the Portuguese league and stuff like that is probably on par with MLS. I would say that parts of MLS and some MLS teams are really...
Nani said that when he moved.
So much better than the Portuguese league or the Dutch league and stuff like that. So the big three then, we've got Brenden Aaronson. This hasn't been confirmed yet, but strong rumours that it's about to happen to Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg in Austria, which I don't really watch the Austrian league. And apart from Salzburg, I don't know any teams in that league. So I'd say that MLS is better than that. But we do know that it's an easy route into the big leagues to go through Austria. Brenden Aaronson is a star of MLS, a rising star of MLS. I would love to see him a few more years in MLS, but as we've seen with like Mackenzie at Juventus, this is a great way to build the league in other countries.
Yeah, I'm quite greedy because I like players like Aaronson. I like him to stay. I'd like him to stay in MLS. And if he is going to move, I want him to move to the UK where we can watch him and track his progress, like Jack Harrison, for example. So, yeah, I mean, it's great for the players. They kind of need that stopgap. You rarely just go. I know Zach Steffen played for Manchester City the other night. You don't tend to just do that. You tend to have a stop in Germany or Austria. So
Stefan was on loan, wasn't he, last year?
Yeah. So I kind of I kind of get it, but I'm just being greedy. I'd like him to stay until maybe he could make a move to a Premier League team, or maybe we can just have him at Norwich. But a great prospect, and Philadelphia, we do give them a lot of credit. They're a great club, and they're producing a lot of homegrown talent.
Yeah. Do you think then that this sort of feeder league is what MLS needs to be now before it can sort of properly assemble itself as maybe, because it seems to be take South American players, pass on American players to Europe, and it seems where it is now. So is this sort of period of MLS, is this what's needed? How do you see MLS coming out the back of it?
I think so. I think you have to be honest. You have to know where you stand. Kind of know your role in the way that things are working. Things have definitely changed in the last 5 years since I've been watching the league. It isn't a retirement league. Anybody who says, it's never been a retirement league, it was. I'm sorry, but it was. I still fell in love with it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I think we're definitely in a new era. But again, you can't run before you walk. You have to know where you stand, and you need the money coming in from these European teams so that you can invest it wisely. If anything, I think to get to the next stage, I think we need a change in rules. I think there's too much of a gap between the DPs on $6-7 million a year and the kids coming out of college. There kind of isn't much in the middle. I'd like the salary cap raise so that we can maybe get some more not middle of the road players, but some players that are of an ability that you can afford to pay without putting them on a DP DP wage, and I think that would improve the league a lot. So yeah, I think it's just about knowing where you are. It's on a massive growth, at the minute, and as long as they continue to create players, American players coming over to Europe, doing really well, it's only going to help the league and its reputation, because we are seeing it shift here in the UK. That's the thing as well. Yeah. We're very used to it getting a hammering, and now all of a sudden coaches top of the championship, players managers from the championship moving over to America. We are starting to see a lot more, so long may that continue.
Elsewhere, Alberth Elis left Houston to go to Boa Vista, where he'll be joining Reggie Cannon as well. So Boa Vista clearly are looking at MLS. That's their route that they're taking, and it's apparently, I was listening to, I think it was on Extra Time podcast. He had a Portuguese expert on there, and he was saying that Boa Vista are looking to rise back up the Portuguese league, and this is a route that they're taking in players for MLS that are a bit cheaper and doing it that way. Alberth Elis has been Houston's best player. He's been probably arguably the best player they've ever had at Houston. So how much are they going to miss him? and he's only 24. So is he someone you could see make it into one of the 5 big leagues?
I'd really, really like to see it. I think Boa Vista is definitely a stepping stone for him, because I don't see them from a UK perspective. I don't see Boa Vista being any better than Houston Dynamo, because obviously we know a lot more about Houston than we do Boa Vista. I definitely think he's a player that, at 24, has got another couple of years to really make an impression, and he could easily be playing in one of the big leagues. Alphonso Davies, of course, remains, almost the shining star. That's the way that he has established himself in Germany is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he will get offers from UK clubs 100%, because he's been exceptional. And there's been calls after Richie Larea's performance last night for Bayern to make a move and get the Canadian wing-backs back together. So maybe he could be playing right back with Alphonso at left back. Who knows? Almost as if Bayern haven't got a good right back. I don't know.
Exactly, yeah. So this is going to be interesting looking at this now, because I think it's kind of it's a bit what Alphonso Davies has made it a bit of a fad for European clubs to come and take the better young players from MLS. So it'd be interesting now to see how it continues and how quickly a player is going to, because Alphonso Davies had half a season,
Yeah.
a season. So Aaronson's had half a season. So it's going to be interesting to see how soon these players are being snapped up. And then secondly, then how they then progress. And because I'm sure some will, like Alphonso Davies, will go to a massive club within Europe and just have a wonderful career. Some will come to a Portuguese side, won't do anything, and then go back to MLS. So it'd be good to see. But I think it will be better for the league. Even those players that leave and come back, it will be better for the league, because you learn more, different cultures and stuff like that, different ways of playing. I think it's beneficial for the league, and it's great to see.